Hi everybody, this is Marco Tropiano from SinoActive. At SinoActive, we work to help people from all over the world to discover the real proudly made in China products. Lately, we worked with helping people source proper masks, so we thought to make a video about it to help address some of the common concerns about these products. Indeed, face masks are one of the most discussed topics since the COVID-19 outbreak. But why are they so important? Well, according to WHO, those who should use the masks are those who are infected or who are close to infected ones. But considering that some people will not show symptoms and still retain the chance to infect others, it is generally advisable for everybody to wear masks. But there are so many types of masks and respirators. Even if the quantity is available, we need to know which ones are suitable for our situation. So in order to answer this question, we provided a blog post with all the information. According to the table, which is a translation of the one you can find on the website of the National Health Commission of the People's Republic of China, when you are at home alone or for outdoor activities in complete isolation, masks are not necessary, or you can use a regular one. But for specific jobs, respirators or medical protective masks will be needed, while overall surgical masks are actually the most common type to be used for medium risk activities. That is because they can protect medical professionals who are not dealing too directly with the patients, as well as the public service workers who are in close contacts with a lot of people daily, and they will not know which ones are infected and which ones are not. If you have doubts, I advise you to take a look. You'll find the link in the description. So, once we know we need our PPEs and understood which mask or respirator we may need, there is another problem we need to face: the quality. There are countless news about several countries, especially in the West, defining the material sent by China substandard or even dangerous. This started in March as Western world started to face the new coronavirus. Since we have been helping to export masks from China since a few months now, those news all concerned us. Were we trusting the wrong people? And what if we found the wrong suppliers? We will create problems to the doctors who are protecting us. That's not possible. We needed to find out what was going on. Even more important is that China exported just in March and April almost 28 billion face masks. So if there are quality concerns, they must be addressed immediately, and there must be very good clarifications. The first case we found was in the Netherlands. It was an order for 1.3 million masks. But later, more issues will appear, and sometimes it will not only be masks. For example, in Spain, it was declared that the tests purchased from China were defective. So we verified the Chinese media answer on the topic, but as always, we tried also to find proofs on the other side. We cannot just believe the western side or the eastern side. After all, we are talking about the health of those who take care of so many patients every day. There is no chance that we are going to believe only one side. So we went through the web looking for government statements, news from independent sources, social media, you name it, and eventually we managed to get some information. It was not easy, but not impossible. Eventually, we managed to get a better understanding thanks to two sources about the Dutch issue. About the first source is that BNR made a thorough investigation to find out what happened after so many days without information from the government. And their explanation is that the masks were apparently ordered in a mistaken way. And this mistake was on the purchaser side, which means the government of the Netherlands. As a matter of fact, the order was for non-medical use mask, which is also being confirmed by the Chinese company Putianjin Lilai's Clothing Weaving Co., which is a clothing and fabric company who reconverted to manufacturing just recently. And they did not have any authorization to produce the medical use mask, while hundreds of other suppliers do have this kind of authorization as provided by the official database of the Chinese government. But there are much more companies who are doing non-medical masks, which explains why the issue was found in the first place. With so much availability of non-medical face masks from so many suppliers, it is possible to make mistakes. That's also what the Chinese media reported, and as the last paragraph of the news I reported says, they won't get any answer from the Minister of Health of the Netherlands about this topic. But on the other side, the minister, Mr. Martin van Rijn, started this work in 26th March of 2020, which was much later after the order, much after the order. On 31st March, his first post about the issue on Twitter was about cooperation to solve the quality issues together with the Chinese ambassador in the Netherlands, Xu Hong. Later on 20 April, Van Rijn was actually happy to confirm a 800,000 masks shipment arriving to Amsterdam Schiphol Airport from China, and more that will be arriving later thanks to this air bridge, and it was the result of the cooperation of the Dutch and Chinese governments. So we can say that after all, it seems the situation has been resolved properly, although there is not too much of an official explanation given, but considering that Netherlands are relying still on Chinese masks, it seems that the quality issues has been indeed solved. About the issue in Spain for the testers, we have a press release from the Minister of Health of Spain which expresses two important things. The first point is that the products which had low quality were bought from a Spanish importer actually, who had the CE mark himself and had this stock of products made in China. The second point is that the new orders, who were going to be made directly by the government of Spain to Chinese suppliers, followed the direction of Chinese government and would be done only through authorized suppliers, those that the Chinese government could guarantee the quality of, which was not the case on the company that generated the case, which is Shenzhen Bioeasy Biotechnological Ltd, that until at the moment of the order did not have such authorization. So, in conclusion, today we did not cover all the complaints we can find on the internet, but we believe that if the ministers of health of both of those two countries we examined agreed to keep working with China, it is probably because it's in the best interest of their own countries after all, and that the problem that was brought out was solved. Otherwise it would make no sense for them to order again from the same country without making any more noise. On the other side, we want to point out two things. One is that thanks to the whitelists which the Chinese government provided, it's easier to get trustable suppliers. But even before then, knowing the market and requesting companies' credentials prior to the transaction was a quite common move, and it worked very well since most sellers had those information at the ready whenever we asked them. So, in our experience, since we started sourcing suppliers for surgical masks and closed the transaction even before of those bureaucratic changes which have been made after those accidents, the situation was quite safe even before, just not so easy for a first timer. The second point is, due to the misinformation available online about the face masks, which in the West are relatively uncommon, there have been a lot of mistakes. If you know the right product you want to buy, you have made the first step, but the second one is to find the right supplier for that product. Only if you make both of those things you can have a good purchasing experience. So that's all for today. If you appreciated the content that we brought to you and you wish to thank us somehow, please do share our content with others who might be interested into it. The more people our efforts can touch, the more we will be motivated to improve our work. Any positive or negative feedback will be also appreciated. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.